Have you ever watched the weather and seen a hurricane forming off the coast of Africa, heading toward the Caribbean or the southern United States? It may surprise you to learn that these powerful storms often travel the same route that was once used during one of the most painful chapters in history, the transatlantic slave trade. Most Atlantic hurricanes start near the west coast of Africa, especially around countries like Senegal, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. These storms begin as small tropical waves in the warm Atlantic Ocean. With enough heat and moisture, they grow stronger and begin to spin. Once they become organized storms, the trade winds, strong winds that blow from east to west, push them across the Atlantic Ocean. Hundreds of years ago, during the transatlantic slave trade, ships from Europe would sail to West Africa. There, millions of African people were captured, bought, or traded and forced onto ships. These ships then crossed the Atlantic Ocean, following the same winds and water currents that hurricanes use. This part of the journey was called the Middle Passage, and it was extremely dangerous and cruel. Many Africans died from hunger, disease, and terrible treatment before even reaching the Americas. Just like hurricanes today, slave ships usually reached the Caribbean islands, like Haiti, Jamaica, and Barbados. The southern United States, like South Carolina, Georgia, and Louisiana. Brazil and other parts of South America. These areas were chosen because they were close to the sea and full of plantations that needed enslaved labor. Today, they are also some of the most common places where hurricanes cause destruction during hurricane season. As hurricanes continue their path, many of them turn northward, following the curve of the earth and the movement of the air. As they get closer to the northeastern United States or Canada, most of them curve back out into the Atlantic Ocean before reaching land. This is because the jet stream and cooler water steer them away. While some hurricanes do at places like New York or Nova Scotia, most weaken or turn back out to sea before reaching Canada. A powerful coincidence, hurricanes turn. Slaves found freedom. There's something deep and symbolic about this pattern. The same route hurricanes follow, from Africa to the Caribbean and the American South, is the path of enslaved Africans during the Middle Passage. But just like many hurricanes turn away from Canada, enslaved people who escaped slavery in the U.S. often found freedom in Canada. Canada was one of the final stops on the Underground Railroad, a secret network that helped people escape slavery. Many who made it north finally found safety and dignity in a land where slavery was outlawed. So, while the storms may follow the path of suffering, they also seem to turn away from the land where freedom waited. That's a coincidence that many people find meaningful. By studying these routes, we learn more than just science or history. We learn how nature and human actions are connected. We also learn to honor the memory of those who suffered and survived the journey. Understanding these routes helps us see how far we've come, and how important it is to never forget the past. Hurricanes and slave ships both cross the Atlantic from Africa to the Americas, following the same winds and currents. One is a force of nature, the other was a tragedy caused by human greed. Even though most hurricanes cause damage along the path of slavery, many of them turn back out to sea before ever reaching Canada, just like many enslaved people who turned north and found freedom there. It's a powerful reminder of both suffering and survival, and why learning our history helps us understand the world today.